Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 5 of Cities Skylines After Dark. I'm going to start by straight away unpausing the game so we can hopefully make a little bit of money. Because we're not running out of deficit, but we don't have a huge deal of cash in the bank, so I'm just going to let things continue there. We are missing some water connections up here on this new area that I built, so let's just go ahead and make sure that all of that is linked up, and that will be fine. Now, there is one thing that I do want to attempt to do in this video, apart from hitting the next population milestone, which is 8,000, should be doable. But I'd also like to try and deal with this humongous traffic jam that we have just here. Now, we may end up destroying an important building or two. We do have the firehouse here, which I think I'm going to have to relocate to attempt what I want to attempt. But what I was thinking about doing was trying to get rid of this junction and building something that maybe replicates a roundabout, but not actually being a roundabout itself. It'll make sense in a moment. We've also got the medical clinic there, which is probably also something that I am going to have to move if I want to make this work. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I am going to relocate the firehouse, assuming that we can afford to do that. So we're going to relocate the firehouse, and I'm going to actually put the firehouse down here on this road. I'm also going to relocate the medical centre, and I'm going to put that in a similar position down over here. Now, the reason for that is I actually want to destroy some of these roadways, and I don't want to destroy any buildings that are going to be particularly important. So let us just quickly pause up while we have a look at this and see what we've got. So we've got 6-lane roads going off in every direction. The road going in these directions actually uses bus lanes. So technically, we only have 4-lane roads. Well, and I will upgrade this road to use bus lanes. So what I want to do is we'll lose a little bit of our building space, but hopefully we'll alleviate a lot of the traffic here. I'm going to start by destroying the 4 bits of road that are on either side of where that junction exists. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the 6-lane road with bus lanes, and I'm going to connect that out, but this time, instead of going all the way up to the intersection, we're just going to go to the halfway point, basically. So we're just going to go 4 blocks in with all of them. Hopefully, it will still give us enough room to do what I want to do. So, is that 4 blocks in? Hard to see sometimes because you can't always see the lines, but I think that's all of them at 4 blocks. We can just tilt it, and maybe this one needs to be a little bit longer by just sort of like 1 block. It won't allow me to do that now, unfortunately. Maybe if I just go ahead and delete that and rebuild it, it will. So let's go and put this part in, and we want to go to, I think that's probably far enough forwards. Now, if we don't have enough room, I might have to delete some of these bits and try this again. But what I want to do now is actually get myself a 2-lane, 1-way street. And we could do this with trees, but it doesn't really matter. So the plan is to be able to go from here over in this direction. To be able to go from here over in this direction. Now, how many blocks did that take? I think that is still 1 block too short. We go from here in this direction. Now, that space is already occupied. There is a taxi rank there that I hadn't spotted before. So let's just go ahead and move this. So we can relocate this, and we'll just pop it down, well, wherever we can get it to fit in, really. We are taking a few houses out, but they will respawn. Let's go back to the roads. So we're going from there to there, and yep, it does actually seem fine. So what we now have is a square roundabout, essentially. We are filtering down from 3 lanes into 2, but one of those lanes is a bus lane. So we're not really losing out a huge deal in that respect. So a couple of other things that I want to do. First of all, just go and zone this area. We can have it residential. It's not going to be the nicest area, being in the middle of a roundabout, but I guess actually we don't even need to have this middle zone residential. What we could do is we could get ourselves a ploppable that will fit in there. If we can find one that is actually small enough. Probably not. Most of these... Oh, we could actually get a Japanese garden in there. That'll be quite nice. That's going to look quite pretty for it. And let's just go ahead and finish upgrading the rest of those roads to have the bus lanes in. So we want the 6-lane with bus lanes. Why can't I see them? They do exist. They should be in here. Is that the one we've got selected? That's why, because it's blue. So what we want now is these roads need to be upgraded to have bus lanes added to them. Because the buses do use these roads. I mean, we are actually... Yeah, we'll go down as far as that. That should be okay. Let's go ahead and unpause the game. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time just for all of this traffic to sort itself out. So we do have bus lanes here. Now, obviously, there are still going to be some traffic problems, but the traffic should be able to move much more freely now. We are still running the game at speed 2. So there's still quite a bit of traffic sort of piling up. It's just causing a little bit of random gridlock. Not really sure if these actually need to have traffic lights on them, to be honest. I suppose it's because I haven't made it a circle. Because I haven't made it a circle, they are actually having to wait to turn. Now, I could have just used a traffic roundabout. The sirens are very annoying. I wish you could turn them off. The problems with roundabouts is even the smaller ones are massive in size comparison. You just actually look at the size of a standard roundabout. It is so much bigger than the space that we are using there. So I think I'm happy with that. Yes, we still do have traffic problems, but I do think that it is going to alleviate some of the issues. Maybe it would be nice if we could find a way to get some traffic to come off this road and maybe divert them somewhere else. Maybe we want some sort of bypass that takes them right down to the other end of the city. So all of a sudden we've got water problems. So what are those water problems? It's a water availability problem. That's actually quite unexpected. Let's have a little look at the budget panel. Our water is at 100%. I think we might need to go ahead and get ourselves another water intake. We only have the one, so it's hardly surprising. Looks like we're losing a bit of water over there. We can go ahead and put one in here, so let's do that. Let's make sure it is piped up correctly. There we go. It should have power as well. Is the water level actually dropping? Almost seems like it is. I mean, these things were in the water at one point. There's definitely some sort of issue right now with the water. Look at that. The water level in the river has all of a sudden changed. That's very interesting. There we go. The water level now seems to be rising again. I've seen that happen if you put a dam in a river before, but I've never just seen it happen randomly like that. We do have some new buildings to place, but we don't have a lot of cash. We do seem to be having a little bit of crime going on. What have we got going on over here? What's wrong with these people? Citizens are sick. They are quite close to the industry. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a hospital. This is something that we do not have yet. And we can go ahead and put the hospital over here near the sick people. That should sort that out. And one thing we also don't have is the police department, but that's going to be quite expensive. Now, we're getting a lot of empty abandoned buildings here, and these are being abandoned mainly because they probably don't have... Yeah, worker education was too low. So I think what we might have to do for the time being is to go and turn off the specialization here and just make this into standard commercial, because these buildings obviously didn't last very long due to the problems with the workforce. So maybe we need to wait until we've got a bit more of a higher education thing going on, and then we can worry about that. So that should be okay. Water problem is now sorted. Of course, we've got some fire issues going on. As I said, it would be nice to build like a big bypass. Of course, we don't even necessarily need to use this connection here. We could just build straight off the road and bring a highway down and join up with this one, which is probably not a bad idea. What have we got going on here? Are these guys levelling up? It looks like they are. They're certainly doing something. Oh, the water is flooding. This is very, very interesting. Yeah, the water level all of a sudden has started rising. Would you look at that? People are actually getting washed away. I'm not too sure what's going on upriver that's actually causing that issue. But that is certainly a problem that I haven't seen before. This road is actually getting completely put underwater here. Now, obviously this game does have simulated water physics, so the water levels do rise and fall, but that one there is actually quite a new one. Maybe we need to go and get a hydroelectric dam in there at some point. So, do we want to have this road connected up with the highway over here, and then we could have some more roads coming off it? That doesn't seem like a terrible idea, but we are going to go and need some more money. We also need some more industrial. Maybe we'll actually start building on the opposite side over here. So we do need to get ourselves some new junctions. You know, we could even build some more industrial over on this side. So let's think about doing that. First things first, we are going to need to go and get ourselves a loan. We can't get another loan here because we're already a little bit broke. Now, what type of junctions do we have? We could get one of these big junctions here, so we could get people coming off in both directions. That's not a bad idea. Having one of these put in here, and then joining it to both of these connections is far from the worst thing we could do. So I'm going to go and provisionally put one of these down, just so that it's in there ready for us to connect up with additional roads. And then we'll decide where we're going to go and put our industry. So these should just be 6-lane roads. These are basically highway roads, highway connections. So if we go into highways, and we just want a normal 6-lane highway, what's the difference in price between the ones with the walls? I think they both have the same speed. Yeah, quite a bit more expensive to maintain and to build. I think we'll just go with the standard one. So we basically want to go from here all the way over to here. It is going to create a bridge. That is fine. We could have also done it with a tunnel. I don't think we're going to have enough money because we need 13,000 credits. So we'll have to wait a little bit on that one. That's fine. And then we'll do the same thing over here. We will have to take out some of this road so that we can put in a junction. And then we'll have some space over here. We can connect these roads up. Not too sure what I'm going to do with these roads yet. Maybe we'll just filter them down into one of the 6-lane roads. Well, that's yeah, that is a 6-lane road. We could even just have one going to there and one coming to here, which sounds like a terrible idea, but it might actually work. So we won't get any traffic on this road yet because at the moment they don't actually have anywhere that they can go. We should also really build from this direction. So that should connect up. Indeed it did. So we now have a road connected via a bridge. So what I'd like to do is connect this over here. Now it's not going to be straight, but that's fine. We can connect that up. And then we'll connect this one up to there. And again, that's going to cost us a little bit of money, so we might have to wait another month or two. But that's fine. Let's just have a look and see how things are going in general. Got a lot of fires raging, I see. We could go ahead and get ourselves a little bit more commercial in there. Just checking for any areas that aren't zoned that could be zoned. We could get a little bit more industrial down here on the waterfront. So let's go ahead and do that. We do have some call for residential, so we need to get some more residential. Obviously, spending all this money isn't really helping out with... See, the traffic seems to be moving fairly well here now. I mean, it is during the daytime. There's a lot of people in the old... Oh, it's a small playground. I thought that was the Japanese garden, but that's fine. A playground in the middle of a traffic roundabout. Seems perfectly legit. So how much money do we have? Can we go and finish those roads? So we want to go from here down to there. And of course a few people get unhappy. But we've certainly got the room now to put in a little bit more residential. Hopefully everything's going to stop getting flooded. I do love the lighting on the bridge. That is a very, very nice effect. Also means, of course, we can build out in this direction as well, should we choose to. Now, how much does one of those big highway junctions cost a 3-way intersection? We've got enough money for that, so let's go and pause up. And again, we have to do the usual thing of taking out a large chunk of the road, otherwise we won't be able to fit it in. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we actually have room for the intersection now. Let's try and line it up as best we can. It's a little bit tricky. So we'll put it in there. We need to go back to highways again. So we're on left side roads. So let's make sure that these are all connected up in the right direction. There we go. So that is now connected. So what we need to do now is connect these roads together. Which again should be doable assuming we have enough money. We can connect that one up and probably also connect that one up as well. Fantastic. So now we have some extra road connections and that's going to mean we can build some extra stuff. Now I think we want to build these roads out a little bit more. These are just 2-lane roads. Or 4-lane roads even. So let's go and do that. I don't think we need ones that specifically have bus routes here. So let's just build along and go right up close towards the highway. We can't do it with this one here, of course, because we've already sort of used that connection. But that's fine. That's not going to be too problematic. I guess what we could also do is we could go ahead and upgrade this road here. Probably makes more sense now that we've got that highway connection. Might need to do something with that top connection there. Maybe just connect it up to this road with a slip road. We'll have to see how that's going to work. Could we just do that directly? I think that might actually work. What type of road do we want there? Or what do we have? It's a 4-lane road. We don't want to upgrade. If we just build out a little further, and then I'll work out what I'm going to do with the roads there. So that's okay. We don't want to build too close to the river because we know it keeps flooding. So that is proving to be problematic. So let's just go ahead and get some sort of simple streets here. And we'll actually start running them off of this road. And again, we'll do our little sort of cheeky grid-shaped streets. Didn't need to go quite that far down, but it'll be fine. Go across as far as we can and come all the way back down. I guess we can join back up with the main road there. It does give us another junction. But that gives us room for more commercial or actually I think residential. We'll go and make this all residential. We won't go right up close to the road. That seems a little bit pointless. They're going to need water, of course, because at the moment there isn't any getting there. So we'll make sure that there's water going right the way across. Nearly had all of them covered, but not quite. There we go. We've still got plenty of water to go around. Haven't quite managed to hit that population number yet that I was looking for. Hopefully we will still get there. So how could I go and make this into a slip road? Well, I guess we could split this off into 2 double lane, 1-way streets. So if we go ahead and do that, we can have a 1-way street that heads in this direction. And we'll have another 1-way street that starts at, well, we'll do it over here because it'll be easier to get the angle right. So we'll have another street that goes there, but we'll change the direction of this one. It's the upgrade button, right click. There we go. So the direction has changed. Now let's go into highways, and we do have our highway ramps. So we want traffic to be able to move from here and join onto this road going in this direction. Yeah, that's fine. So they can join onto the highway there. I also, we'll have to use page up for this, want them to be able to join onto the road going the other way. So this might be quite messy, but it should work. So let's see if we can do this. We're going to build up and over, and then we're going to go down on the other side. Now obviously we will need to put in a little bit of a turn here. It's difficult to get the angle right, to be honest. Let me go ahead and just delete that bit of the ramp because I'm just not happy with it. So go back to the on-ramp, or the, yes, it is the on-ramp. So we're going to go down, not quite so steep. Guess we could sort of go right over here. This would actually work. And then curve it back around. Always wants to curve just slightly too much. But that would actually work. It's a hell of a tight turn there. Which is very gnarly. Would be nice if it was neater, but that's never going to work. And then obviously we want people to be able to get off and on to here. So traffic coming off here can join straight onto that road. And then we could also have traffic coming off of the road in this direction. So we could go for a raised road, or we could even go for a lowered road actually. We could have a tunnel, which brings people around in this direction. And brings them out here, and then joins up. There we go. Messy as anything, but it should work. What have we got here? We've got... oh, it's telling us about the bus station, which I don't think we really need at the moment. We are using a fair amount of passengers per week. Maybe getting a bus station isn't a terrible idea. Let's go and have a look at the rest of the city and see how things are doing. There are a few fires. Traffic problems. How is the traffic? Well, it's pretty terrible down here. These roads certainly seem quite congested. Maybe we should be upgrading these to better roads. So let's go ahead and move up to some 6-lane road. Get 6-lane roads with bicycle lanes as well. Not too bothered about the bicycle lanes at the moment. So let's just go ahead and do these upgrades. Obviously it's going to destroy some of the existing infrastructure, but that's fine. Be nice if we could actually see the traffic congestion overlay while we were doing this. It would make things so much easier. This bit of road seems very, very busy. I certainly think we should have a piece of upgraded road in there just to join those up. Obviously we don't need to have bus lanes in all of those. We've still got some buildings burning down. We have quite a bit of crime going on over here. Maybe it's time to actually go ahead and get ourselves that police headquarters. So we do have a little bit of space over here. Let's put the police headquarters right over near all of the residential. That might make people a little bit happier. Let's put the police headquarters over here. So that's going to cost us a fair bit of money, but we do have this police headquarters now. You can dispatch a large number of patrol cars to crime scenes around the city. And it's got a lot more cell capacity as well. Facility is full, so we've actually got no room left at the landfill site. Do we actually have the ability to incinerate garbage yet? No, we need our 8,000 population, so we will actually get there. We will be able to do that. There's a lot of people complaining that their refuse isn't being collected. So maybe we do need to get ourselves... There's our other landfill site. The other landfill site is 41% full. But if we do manage to go and build an incinerator somewhere, then we can actually start emptying the landfills out, which is probably what we want to do. We're very, very close now to hitting that number of population. So that's going to be a really good thing. We are getting more and more call for commercial. I'm almost tempted to build some commercial in over on this side. I mean, we could always be cheeky. You can't build directly next to highways. Ah, there we go. We've hit our next population landmark. Do we want to go ahead and... See, we've got high-density commercial zones now, and we've got office zones and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some offices down here at the side of the residential area. We can put that down at the side of the road. That will be fine. And what do we want to do? We want to get ourselves an incinerator, because that's going to deal with the garbage problem. Now, these things are quite expensive, but where do we want to put one? I guess having it connected to a main road is going to be useful. A lot of this over here is housing, although there are quite a few factories around. I guess we could go and put it over here near the existing landfill site. I thought it was next to a road. What about if I put it on this side? There we go. Is something burning down there? There was a reason it wouldn't let me place it. Oh, that's because that's our power plant. Okay, that's fine. So now we actually have a incineration plant. And what we can do is we can say we want to start emptying this landfill. So what will happen now... Building is set to empty and there's no more room. So basically all of the garbage trucks are going to take all of the stuff from this to the incineration plant, where hopefully we will burn it all and turn it into some nasty pollution. There's also quite a lot of places that aren't having their refuse collected. We are using all of the vehicles that we have, so maybe we need to go into our budget panel. And maybe we need to up our... Well, I guess we can put the medical up to 100% now. We don't need to worry about saving every little penny. We can put the daytime power usage up to 100%. Taxis we're still not really making the most of. I'm going to leave day and nighttime taxi usage on 75%, just so we do have some availability there. But what I'm going to do on our garbage, I'm going to put that up to 115%. We might not need to leave it there permanently. The good thing is with doing this with the sliders, you can use it as a temporary solution. If you've got a lot of rubbish that isn't being collected, just put these sliders up for a little while. And it'll just mean that you put on a few more trucks. So if we have a look at these landfill sites now, we can see that they have 17 trucks available, whereas before they only had 12. Sorry, only had 15. So out of the 2 landfill sites, we've now got an extra 4 trucks out running. So that might be enough to deal with the garbage capacity. There's only a few places getting missed. There shouldn't really be, because there is plenty of capacity to take all of that stuff in. Obviously the incinerator should get through it, hopefully, quite quickly. What about the crime? We have been noticing quite a lot of crime going on. Doesn't seem to be too bad. Crime rate is at an all-time low. We do have some detained criminals. So what else did we unlock when we hit our landmark? Well, we've got taxation policies. We've actually got leisure specialisation, but I kind of have the feeling that if we created those, we'd have the same issue that we had when we went for tourism, in that we don't have enough educated workers. But we do have access to the university, and we also have access to the prison. Let's go ahead and just have a look at those on their appropriate tabs. So we can't afford the prison. The prison costs 120,000 credits. That's actually quite a lot. But it can transform criminals into law-abiding citizens. Police stations have jails to hold criminals for a short time, but a prison is needed to rehabilitate them. So I think this is something that they were talking about when they said that they were revamping the prison system. Or, well, revamping the crime system. And I think that is you can actually rehabilitate offenders. I wonder how big this building actually is. It does seem quite large. That's a lot of money in order to go ahead and build one of those. The other building that we've got available, and I've forgotten already. Oh yeah, the university. So we should probably consider getting one of those. We definitely need to have at least one university, I would have thought. And how much is a university going to set us back? 75,000. Not as much as building a prison, but I certainly think that we should have at least one university. And maybe we want to get the university over on this side so it's near the most of or the majority of our residential. I know that there will be some residential that probably doesn't benefit from it, but that's fine, because remember, we do want some low education citizens to be able to work in the industrial areas. So that's perfectly acceptable. How are things going down here? It certainly still looks like the water is doing some strange stuff and changing levels. I'm hoping these houses don't keep flooding. They haven't abandoned the house yet, which is probably a good sign. There does seem to be quite a few cars piling up on top of one another here, which is certainly interesting. That's not normally how people park. But okay, that's fine. Remember, this is just a ploppable to make people more happy. It doesn't really have any huge benefits. Yeah, there is a Japanese garden, but it was the small playground I managed to put in somehow. So what else could we put in for a ploppable? We could go and put in a pier restaurant. I mean, people do kind of use them. Let's go ahead and put one in over here. And let's see how it looks. Apparently it doesn't have any power and water. So some of them... And it's also saying it doesn't have a road connection. So some of them don't seem to need a road connection. Some of them do. So I guess we can put in a small road connection to this, possibly. Go away zones. I know there's new zoning available. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That is a 4-lane road, it should be. So we want to go back to the type of road that you were supposed to be. It's because I'd left it on upgrade and I didn't mean to. So that doesn't help because that's now in the wrong space. So let's go ahead and we will relocate this if we can. So now that we know it needs a road connection, we can go and put it in somewhere here. Now we do know that these houses keep flooding. I don't really want them right next to each other though. So maybe we do go and take out these buildings on the end. So people were unhappy but also happy. Now it says it doesn't have water. Not enough water. You're on a river. How can somebody on a river not have enough water? Does it need a direct water connection somewhere? I mean, it has water going out to it. There we go. So we now have a restaurant pier which is close enough to the road. Maybe when I put this down, maybe this actually was close enough to the road for it to count. But that's just another zone that another building that allows people to get a little bit more happiness. I certainly should start putting more of the ploppables down, because doing that sort of thing actually increases the land value in a lot of the areas, especially if we look over where you see there's a lot of low land value around here. We could certainly go in and maybe right in the middle of where the trouble area is, just go and put in some sort of attractions. You can see now all of a sudden the leisure is rising, which will increase the happiness and also increase the land value. So that's all good. Traffic problems, well, they haven't completely gone away. And again, we're starting to get the buildings burning down, which is fairly standard. We still do have some traffic issues here. I'm not sure if we'll ever be able to fully alleviate that issue. Maybe if we go in and grab some more 4-lane roads and upgrade, and maybe if we upgrade, well, we've got the power station there, we can't really upgrade this bit of road, which is going to be problematic. The thing is, every good city, no matter how well designed, has traffic issues, so I expect a terribly designed city to have traffic issues. Got a bit more space over here that I could use. I could actually go ahead and use that for residential. Actually, no reason why I shouldn't do that. Let's go ahead and just put in another connection from here, I guess. We can bring it down level with there. And we can bring another road out to here. And another road out to here. Gives us a bit of space now. I guess we could go for some high density residential here. See if we can get a little bit of high rise going. And really sort of increase our population. We're actually losing population right now, which is a little bit of a shame. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. Still got plenty of space over here that we can build. I guess we could actually turn this area into high-rise, and I think I might actually do that. Let me just go ahead and unzone it. And I'm actually going to turn all of this into high density. So these buildings will start to disappear very shortly, because the people in them will be moving out. There's going to be a few stragglers, there always is. There we go. Just try and make sure that absolutely every plot is covered. And I think we have managed it. There's a few more here, of course. There we go. So now we're going to start getting some high density. We're actually losing quite a lot of population. We hit 8,000 at one point. We've now dropped down below that. But that may be because, of course, I've just destroyed a fair few houses. This building is empty and it's now only 79% full. Where's the incinerator? Incinerator is working well. We do still have a few water issues over here. Now, why is that? Well, we shouldn't have. Apparently our water availability is fine. I think it's just pipe connections. There we go. So that's the only issue. We just don't have a water pipe heading down there. So let's sort that out before those buildings decide they are going to abandon. And we're still having problems with collecting the garbage. Maybe we do actually need to go in and, should we say, significantly increase the budget for that. So let's go into garbage collection. I think 120 is about as high as I'd want to go before I think about just putting it back down to 100 and then actually grabbing some more buildings. Not necessarily another incinerator, but certainly at least getting another landfill or two. But I think that is a good point to end the video, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Cities Skylines. Not too sure how many more of these videos I'm going to do. I mainly just wanted to do a little bit of playing before I did my review for the game. So I may continue with the series, I may not. I'm not going to make any promises in that regard, but hopefully this has been a little look at some of the gameplay changes and features that have been added in After Dark. And hopefully my review will be available soon and you'll be able to get my impressions on it. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.